Today, we're taking a calm moment to talk about something meaningful: why Muslims fast during Ramadan. For many people, it looks like a simple break from food and drink, but the reality goes much deeper. Ramadan is a month that reshapes the heart, the mind, and the way a person sees the world. Fasting is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, so it holds a central place in a Muslim's life. Allah commanded it, but the command comes with wisdom and mercy. The Quran explains that fasting helps a believer become more mindful, more disciplined, and more connected to their faith. It's not meant to burden anyone. It's meant to lift them. Most people think fasting is just about staying hungry, but the real purpose is self-control. Everyday habits slow down for a while: eating, drinking, reacting quickly, or falling into distractions. When the body pauses, the mind becomes clearer. Patience grows. Thoughts settle. A person becomes more aware of their actions and their intentions. Ramadan becomes a month of training that carries into the rest of the year. Fasting isn't new. It existed long before Islam. Jesus, peace be upon him, fasted as an act of devotion and obedience to God. His dedication showed sincerity, strength, and deep faith. In Islam, he is known as Isa, and his commitment to fasting is recognized as part of a long line of prophets who used this act to purify the heart and draw closer to their Creator. Choosing to feel hunger creates a powerful shift inside. It mirrors the daily struggle of people who don't have food by choice. That experience softens the heart. It encourages generosity. Charity increases. Compassion becomes more natural. Gratitude feels more real. Fasting turns awareness into kindness. Ramadan is often described as a spiritual detox. It's a time when people reconnect with Allah, read more Quran, and reflect on their lives. Old habits are questioned. Broken routines are repaired. The pace of life slows down just enough for the heart to breathe. The mind clears. The soul feels lighter. And because the whole community shares the experience, the atmosphere becomes peaceful and united. Fasting in Islam has clear start and end times. The fast begins at dawn, at the time of Fajr, and ends at sunset, at the time of Maghrib. From the first light of the morning until the sun fully sets, Muslims don't eat or drink anything at all, not even water. This daily rhythm creates structure, discipline, and a sense of unity, because millions of people around the world start and end their fast at the same moments. When it's finally time to break the fast, Muslims usually begin with something simple and gentle on the stomach. Most people open their fast with a date and a sip of water, following the tradition of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Some families use milk instead of water, depending on their culture. Only after that do they move on to their main meal, but the fast is always opened with something light and natural. Children are not required to fast until they reach puberty. Before that age, some families gently encourage short practice fasts to help kids understand the spirit of Ramadan, but it's never an obligation. Islam is a religion of mercy, so certain people are excused from fasting completely. This includes the elderly, those who are sick, travelers, pregnant or breastfeeding women, and anyone whose health would be harmed by fasting. Allah does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear, and these exemptions are a reminder of that mercy. Alongside the spiritual benefits, fasting brings real changes to the body. Digestion gets a break. Energy levels balance out. Inflammation reduces. The body becomes more efficient at using stored energy. Cravings calm down. The system resets in a natural, gentle way. These physical shifts support the emotional and spiritual clarity that Ramadan encourages. The soul benefits just as much. Intentions become cleaner. Gratitude deepens. Worship feels more sincere. A person becomes more aware of their blessings and more connected to their purpose. Fasting strengthens both the inner and outer self. And then there are the rewards. Fasting in Ramadan comes with immense blessings from Allah. Every moment of hunger, every act of patience, every quiet intention is recorded. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught that fasting is so special that Allah himself says, "Fasting is for me, and I alone will reward it." The reward isn't limited to this life. It includes forgiveness, mercy, spiritual elevation, and blessings that continue long after Ramadan ends. On the Day of Judgment, the fast will stand as a shield for the believer, protecting them and speaking on their behalf. No one knows the full extent of the reward, only Allah, and that alone shows how honored this act of worship truly is. So, why do Muslims fast? To obey Allah, to build discipline, to grow in empathy, to purify the heart, to benefit the body, to uplift the soul, and to leave Ramadan with a renewed sense of peace and direction. As Ramadan continues, something else begins to settle into the heart, a sense of calm that's hard to find at any other time of the year. The world feels quieter. The soul feels lighter. Even simple moments, like hearing the adhan or sitting with family at iftar, start to feel more meaningful. These small experiences remind the believer that Allah's mercy reaches every corner of life, even the moments we overlook. Another beautiful part of Ramadan is the opportunity to rebuild one's relationship with the Quran. Many people try to read more during this month, even if it's just a few verses a day. The Quran feels different in Ramadan. Its words land deeper. Its lessons feel clearer. Its guidance becomes easier to follow. Spending time with the Quran softens the heart and strengthens the connection between the believer and their Creator. Good character also becomes a major focus. Fasting isn't only about avoiding food and drink, it's about avoiding harmful behavior. A believer tries to stay away from anger, gossip, arguments, and anything that harms others. Every time a person holds back from reacting, they grow. Every time they choose patience over frustration, they rise. Ramadan becomes a month where character is polished, refined, and elevated. As the days pass, many people notice that their priorities begin to shift. Things that once felt important start to feel small. Things that were ignored suddenly feel valuable. The believer becomes more aware of their blessings, health, family, food, safety, and the simple gift of waking up each morning. Gratitude becomes a natural part of the day, and that gratitude brings peace. And when the final nights of Ramadan arrive, the atmosphere changes. These nights carry a special weight, especially Laylatul Qadr, the night of decree. A night described in the Quran as better than 1,000 months. A night when prayers are answered, sins are forgiven, and destinies are written. Muslims spend these nights in worship, hoping to catch even a moment of its blessings. It's a reminder that Allah's mercy is always near, and His doors are always open. The hunger, the patience, the prayers, the charity, the quiet moments, all of it leaves a mark on the heart. Ramadan isn't just a month on the calendar. It's a journey, a reset, a chance to return to Allah with sincerity and hope. And when Eid finally arrives, it becomes a celebration of completing a month that tested the body but strengthened the soul. May this month bring clarity, mercy, and blessings to everyone who observes it.